Hi everyone, my name is Kelly. I was born and raised in Vancouver. Currently, I am studying economics in my 4th year at McGill University. So a fun fact about me is I speak 4 languages, which is Cantonese, French, Mandarin, and English. So I went into French immersion first, so that's why I'm fluent in French, and that's also why I chose to go to Montreal, which has French. I also play the guzheng, so that is fun. But yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Hi everyone, my name is Jenny. I am a grade 12 student from Canada, so I will be graduating this year. I was born here in Vancouver, British Columbia, so just like Kelly. I was raised here for a majority of my life, but I also did spend 2 years of my elementary school in China.
Hi everyone, this is Sarah. I was born and raised in Ohio. Both my parents are Chinese immigrants. I went to college and grad school on the East Coast in Washington, D.C. and also worked there for a little bit. But last year I relocated to LA for work, so now I live in California.
Hey, what's up guys? So my name is Mota. I moved to Toronto, Canada at the age of 2, so I've pretty much been here my whole life. I'm currently going to the University of Toronto, studying computer science and stats. Right now I'm taking a couple years off to do some work related to international student stuff and some real estate stuff.
Hi everyone, I'm Julia and I was born and raised in Australia. I'm currently a full-time employee and my hobbies or things that I like include staying active. I'm a bit of a foodie, so I like going to different food places and just traveling. Yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Hey y'all, my name is Nancy. I'm currently in California for college. I was also born in Vancouver and I moved to Georgia with my parents when I was in 3rd grade. And I finished high school there and now I'm here in California.
Yeah, so hi everyone, my name's David. I'm Chinese Australian. I was born in New Zealand and I grew up in Sydney since the age of 6. I also study university here and now I'm still here. I never lived in China before, but I studied Chinese in high school, so I'd say I can speak Chinese quite fluently.
Yeah, hi, my name is Conan. I've graduated both undergrad and have a master's in physics. I've lived in Chicago and was born there. But I went to the East Coast for grad school, went away for a few years, and now I'm actually back.
We just finished the first round, and now I'm gonna count from 1, 2, 3, and you guys gonna vote. 1, 2, 3, vote. Sarah and Mota both got 3 votes, so we're gonna start another round for them. They're gonna talk about their favorite celebrity. So let's start with Sarah.
So I guess I'll talk about someone I really liked when I was a child. So I was super into like Disney Channel and High School Musical. So I was obsessed with Vanessa Hudgens. I can still sing like all the High School Musical songs, which I'm really embarrassed to admit because it's been like over 10 years. But yeah, I can sing a part of like High School Musical if that proves who I am, but Vanessa Hudgens.
Okay, so I think for celebrity, I think Robert Downey Jr. I really enjoyed his Iron Man movies. I think he's a very charismatic dude. His acting skills are really good, and I think he portrays the character, and he's kind of created like an entire culture around the Marvel universe and like the superhero scene.
Mota and Sarah just finished their part about their favorite celebrity, alright? So the rest of you guys are gonna vote one more time. Only number 3 or number 4, alright? I'm gonna count from 1 to 3. 1, 2, 3, vote. Wait, it's another 3 to 3? Are you kidding me? Wait. In this case, none of them is going to be eliminated. We're gonna go straight to round 2. In round 2, we're gonna eliminate 2 people, all right?
I think it's the fact that she has her face covered. Maybe like to hide her identity, maybe like the makeup could be slightly
I would just say it's just like listening to Sarah speak there's a little bit of a twang of something else other than an American accent. And I based my decision purely on that and not by her mask.
He used a lot of big words like, oh, to preface, but then it's like trying too hard, you know? No offense, Mona.
Like the way he dresses is really like Chinese with like Dior.
So some childhood memories is when you grow up, when you like go to like lunchtime, you always get like different stuff than like the normal kids. So I always had like a thermos and then like rice. So like I tried to like trade it, or like I tried to like, you know, get like, you know, Lunchables or like fruit roll-ups or like just like Rice Krispies instead of like this. Like, okay, honestly now like when I grow up I'm like, oh, actually it's like so much more nutritional, but at the time like I just felt so out of place, and like they're like, oh, so smelly, like what is that?
So when I was in China, it was like near the end of grade 2 and I was preparing to come back to Canada. So I told a few of my friends at the time that I was leaving, and there was this one guy who was like saying I'm from 外国 and I'm from 国外. I remember going home and crying to my mom about it. I felt like such an alien. I was like, what's the difference between 外国 and 国外? Is there a difference? And she said that it's literally the same thing, and that didn't make me feel any better. If anything, it just made me feel a lot worse. And I don't know why, but this memory has just stayed with me for the past 10 years or so, and for some time I did kind of struggle with an identity crisis of being both cultures but never completely of one or the other. So to this day I'm still trying to navigate my own perfect balance, but honestly, yeah, looking back, it was kind of dumb of me to be affected by that, and kind of funny now that I think back too.
My experience is more about food. It's like such a quintessentially immigrant experience. So, you know, like in most American families, you would have barbecue around 4th of July or just like the peak of summer in general. But for my family, what we do is that we kind of have like an end of summer barbecue. So it's sometime in September, like right before it gets way too cold in Ohio to be outside. So my mom used to be a chef, so she has her own like secret recipe, and it's like a Chinese fusion sauce that tastes really good. I've still never had like barbecue sauce like as good as my mom's. And she would cook them in batches and freeze a lot of the meat. So for 2 weeks after that, I get to bring like barbecue meat fried rice to school for lunch. So it's so sentimental to think about it because I haven't been home for a while because of work. So it's also something that I really miss.
Back in middle school, all of us after school on Fridays, we would go to the local Cineplex and watch like the newest movie. So we go to the mall in advance, right? And then we have a couple hours before the movie. And then back then, some of us got into doing magic tricks. So like sleight of hand, like close-up magic. We saw this like one trick online that was like, it was kind of like a prank, right? So pretty much what you did was you grabbed like a few cards and you told the audience to like, of course, pick a card, right? And they would pick a card and then you would tell them to take off their shoe. And then after they took off their shoe, you would say like, there's nothing there, right? And then you're like, yeah, like I made it disappear. Right? So that was kind of the joke. We went up to like a cop, like a mall cop. My friend did the trick, and then 4 of us just like bolted in the other direction, and then we just like ran out the mall. So that was like super fun back in middle school.
I don't know if you guys done this before, but like on Saturdays when I was younger, I'd go to Chinese school every week, and then spend a whole day there learning Chinese, hanging out with friends. I think a lot of ABCs or CBCs hated it, but for me it was quite a fun experience because you got to hang around with your friends and just have fun, I guess.
So in my intro, I said that like I moved to Atlanta or Georgia when I was in 3rd grade. So I experienced a little bit of a culture shock. It's like really subtle, but there's like slight word choices that are different and pronunciation that are different for certain words. For example, in Vancouver, we used to say like washroom, but then here we say restroom. And then also like in Vancouver, I would say like plastic bag, but then here like you say plastic bag. Like it's, I don't know, my friends laugh at me a lot because of that. And also like the elementary school I went to in Vancouver, it was kindergarten to 7th grade. But then here, all the schools are like kindergarten to 5th grade. And then when I just moved here, that was like a big shock.
Yeah, like one of the things I recall very vividly was we used to go and buy packets of potato chips. And in those potato chips were these round things called tazos. Now, there were all sorts of Tazos, Simpsons Tazos, Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh, and rugby, NRL rugby Tazos. My school friends and I would play this game in the playground where each person takes turns hitting a Tazo on the ground with their own Tazo from their hand. A couple of the other things we did in primary school was play Yu-Gi-Oh cards every recess and lunch. Like my classmates and I would trade cards and verse each other all the time. And eventually more than half the people in my grade were playing it. And my primary school ended up making a decision to ban Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Yeah, can you imagine like a school banning a children's card game? That's what they did.
Yeah, so I kind of have two experiences. For the 4th of July, Illinois, where I grew up, you can't actually buy fireworks, but you can in Indiana, which is right across the border. And it is totally legal in Illinois to set off fireworks. So my family would drive across the border to buy fireworks, to bring them back. But I think the most Asian thing about it was that we used incense to light the fireworks instead of like lighters. And I didn't realize that this was a uniquely Asian thing. I just thought everyone, including like all my white friends, used incense to light fireworks for the longest time. The other experience that I had was I actually really hated Chinese school. I would kind of just go there and just be like, you know what? I am going to sit here like it's detention. And I'm going to refuse to learn just because my mother is forcing me. Until around like high school, where I actually really decided to want to learn Chinese. I spoke Cantonese growing up, and then I decided to actually learn Mandarin. I remember that was a huge cultural shift for me. Made me want to learn about my roots and stuff.
And in this round, we're gonna vote 2 people out. I'm gonna count from 1 to 3. You guys gonna vote, right? 1, 2, 3, and vote. In this case, Sarah got 5 votes, so Sarah is eliminated. Mota got 2 votes. Mota is also eliminated.
I would say 8 because you mentioned incense. I feel like that's kind of weird. Like, it feels like trying too hard to be Asian American.
Yo, first of all, I want to thank Kelly for changing her vote. Number 2 is a little sus for me because I remember the introduction round. She kind of just had like this. I felt like it was like a prepared like little speech thing or whatever. So I thought it was a little too like unnatural.
We just finished round 2, but we're still gonna continue this game, which means there's at least 1 international student in it.
I'm going to ask Jenny. So first question, you said that you're from Vancouver, so I'm from Vancouver too. So where from Vancouver are you from?
Where exactly? Fairview community? Yes, like you know near the hospital.
That's very specific. I don't know if you can put that in. But okay. What kind of sports or hobbies did you do growing up?
I do dragon boat and outrigger canoe.
Okay, so when you hung out with your friends, like what would you normally do, like in like specifically like elementary school or middle school?
We would go to Metrotown a lot. There was this phase when we just like buy a lot of clothes in grade 6, I think. And apart from that, I remember I would kind of go to their house sometimes. We'd play Agario or like, I don't know what was popular at the time, Transfer Mice. I just remember I played a lot of games. I went to the mall. That's about all I did.
Did you go to Chinese school? And if so, like what kind of distinct memories did you have from it?
I remember I had this one friend who's like speaks Cantonese and she needed help with Chinese school, so we'd have this eraser where I write the answers for her and pass it to her during the test, and she was just like, okay, and we both got 100 on the test. Yeah.
Bro, I was that Cantonese girl. You sold me there. Okay, cool.
Okay, let me ask number 8, Conan. If I say crisscross, can you continue the phrase?
Crisscross? No, I don't think so. What, like?
Okay. It's crisscross applesauce. Like teachers would say that. Do you know what I'm referring to when I do this?
What was that?
It's like the Disney Channel. Like they would draw that thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I love how Kelly
Gotcha.
just gets everything that I'm saying. What is Skittles' slogan?
Skittles taste the rainbow.
What does YOLO stand for?
You only live once, even though that's grammatically incorrect.
Give me a throwback song.
I am your fire, your one desire.
Okay, what was the board game you played when you were younger?
I did play a lot of Catan. I don't know if you know Resistance. I like both of those.
I guess this could be my last one. What is at the end of the rainbow?
Pot of gold.
Alright.
I picked number 7, David.
Good day.
So you said you were based in Sydney. Well, obviously you can't reveal where you live, but where were you originally from? As in your parents' background and all that.
They're from Shanghai originally.
Can you say something in Shanghainese?
可以啊，我而家就跟你講大氣喎。
Okay, sweet. 我係上海人。
哦，攞謝。
What's your dad's English name?
Can I defer that question?
Okay, yeah, you can. It's fine. Can you do a tongue twister?
What? She sells seashells by the seashore.
If you go karaoke with your friends, what is the one Asian song that everyone tends to sing?
童話。
This is a random question, but like crabs, lobsters and stuff, they're part of the what animal family?
The shellfish, aka crustaceans.
Okay, I'm convinced. Maybe some anatomy questions. So like, what do you call this?
The lobe of an ear, like earlobe.
Cool. I think I should be done.
I want to pick Conan. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
If I say girl something cookies, can you fill it in?
Oh, Girl Scouts cookies.
Yeah. And then in high school, we have homecoming game. Which game is the homecoming game?
My high school is different in that we had basketball as our homecoming game, but it's typically football.
Can you explain what a pep rally is?
Yeah, it's just to get people all psyched up for the games to begin with.
There's some difference between the underage driver's license and the over 21 driver's license. What is the difference?
For my state, it's whether it's vertical or horizontal, and there's a little thing there. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. And then, so in high school, if you have the highest GPA or the second highest GPA, there are 2 words you call them.
Valedictorian and salutatorian.
Yeah. Can you sing like a little bit of the national anthem? This is my last question. And then I'll end here.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held? Is that good enough for?
I'm gonna ask Nancy some questions. Finish this sentence for me. When life gives you lemons.
I don't know.
What are the rules of the game Duck Duck Goose?
Yeah, I know. I played it when I was little in Vancouver. It's been so long. I remember like you sit in a circle and then you say like duck duck goose and then like you start running.
What does the term ABG stand for?
Asian baby girl.
Who were your role models growing up?
My role models? It was always my mom.
Did you ever feel a disconnect from your cultural heritage?
Like when I was a kid, I really didn't want to learn Chinese at all because I just wanted to be like everyone else. But then after I started college, I started taking Chinese classes. And then my mom was like when you were a kid, we were trying to make you speak Chinese and you didn't. Now we're paying for you to learn Chinese in college.
Can you sing the first few lines of your national anthem?
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, with all these sons command.
Great. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Nancy. What popular brand did the spokesperson Jared represent? You might remember him with pants, if that makes sense.
I don't, sorry.
What is the format of the American Social Security number? You can feel free to use X's and dashes.
XXX-XX-XXXXX.
On May 3rd, 2023, in America, there is a specific ID that must be compliant for travel, for your driver's license. What's that called?
The real ID?
Yeah. Name some books that we read for literature class.
Hamilton and a lot of Shakespeare stuff. The Kite Runner.
Okay. The order of your high school science classes between chemistry, biology, and physics.
Biology, and then chemistry and then physics.
I think that's all I've got. Thank you.
In round 3, we asked a lot of questions, and it's time to vote. I'm gonna count from 1 to 3, and you guys gonna vote. 1, 2, 3, vote. Conan and Nancy both got 2 votes. So in this case, I'll let Jenny, David, Julia, and Kelly ask them 3 more questions. You can pick one person and ask 3 more questions, all right?
I voted for number 5. That is based solely off of we didn't ask her any questions. I thought other people would choose Nancy or Conan. Potentially, at least somebody voted for the unexpected.
Honestly, I was kind of torn between Nancy and Julia because Julia didn't really get to talk. I think Conan's pretty solid, and David sounds pretty fluent too. So just between 5 and 6, yeah.
I voted Conan, yeah. I feel like Conan is might have been a name you gave yourself after watching Detective Conan or something.
I voted for Conan because I feel like he didn't answer some of my questions.
Who I think is absolutely ABC, I'd say Julia, 90% sure. Yeah, I feel like we haven't really asked Jenny too many questions about her childhood either. And her growing up. Yeah, I picked Jenny this time.
The one that really got me was when David asked Nancy, when life gives you lemon, what's the follow-up? And she didn't know that it was you make lemonade.
I'm going to ask Nancy. Just to preface though, did you move from China? I don't know if this counts as a question, but were you always in Vancouver?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Vancouver.
Where in Vancouver specifically did you grow up in and what did you do?
Yeah, I grew up in Burnaby, and it's actually next to the Metrodown SkyTrain station.
So growing up on Disney Channel, what shows did you watch?
Bear-Stained Bears, Timothy Goes to School, The Little Mermaid, as much as I can recall.
I'm going to ask Nancy. Before TikTok, there was this app that was really similar to TikTok, and I think it actually got bought by TikTok. So do you know what the app was called?
I only know Snapchat. I don't know if that's what you're referring to.
Which hospital were you born in?
I don't remember.
There's an Asian mall beside Metrotown. What is it called?
TNT?
I was looking for Crystal Mall.
This is quite hard. Probably Conan. Wait, can you speak a little bit of Chinese, Conan? Give me one Mandarin Chengyu and tell me what it means.
成语.
Yeah.
自相矛盾 or 敌相矛盾. And it's if you are contradictory. So it comes from the spear and the shield.
How do you spell plateau and what does it mean?
Plateu. It's the flat part of the mountain, or it could mean just anything that goes flat. So if your CPU usage plateaus, that's just it's going flat.
So I'm going to ask my questions to Conan. Could you explain to me what the phrase blood is thicker than water, what does that mean?
Blood is thicker than water is familial relations are more important than anything else.
Do you know the name of the world famous Japanese-run tutoring college that teaches maths and
Kumon?
English to teach to kids after school?
My guess is Kumon?
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. Can you tell me what the game Uno involves?
So you get rid of cards by matching either the color or the number, and when you get into one more card, you have to say Uno, otherwise you draw another card and you keep going.
Yeah.
In this round, other 4 people just asked Nancy and Conan questions. 3 questions each. I hope you have found your answer. 1, 2, 3, vote. In this case, Nancy is eliminated. In round 4, Nancy was eliminated. I'm going to announce that the ABC team won. Congrats.
Hi everyone, my name is actually Nancy. I was born and raised in Beijing, China. I picked Vancouver because I would go to Vancouver a lot when I was a kid. But then I did like all of my elementary school, middle school, and high school in Beijing. This was really hard because I actually don't really follow Western pop culture and all the like the memes and stuff that you guys do on the internet. I'm just like a WeChat girl. 然后我当时就是特别担心你们会问让我说中文，因为我没有办法就是 copy ABC 的那个口音。
So my name is not Sarah. Sarah is my coworker's name. I was actually born in Chongqing, and I moved to Ohio when I was 13, 14 years old. Went to high school in Ohio and then college, grad school in DC, and now I work in California.
Like my entire like social circle is like 90% like FOBs, so I speak like mostly Mandarin now. It's probably like better than my English. That's why I was like really nervous like at the start because I haven't done like talked in English for this long in like such a long time. So
Whole vibe with Conan, he sounded way too confident to be faking it, you know? So I was like, okay, this guy's okay. Kelly was like, she has this Vancouver vibe, I think, like the way she talks and like the way she relates to me. What hurt me was kind of how Moda and David were like, oh yeah, that girl's sus. And I'm like, how? I mean, I'm kind of like Moda, like I'm trying to reconnect with my Chinese self more and more.
I think I based a lot of my decisions on just the gut feeling, and I think my gut feeling from the very start was Sarah and Conan, so it kind of affected the way I thought about things. Also, I think because Nancy, the way you speak it feels quite ABC, so I could have been fooled by that, but I should have asked you, Nancy, to say something in Chinese.
I like how Julia mentioned makeup because Nancy and I basically spent like the entire afternoon talking about like what makeup we should wear.
And I was suspecting Nancy. So I asked a lot of specifically Canada and Vancouver things, but I guess a little bit she tricked me when she was like, oh, I also grew up in Johns Creek.
I was just nervous that my team would lose because of my incense story or something like that. I always thought it was like the quintessential, Chinese American experience, right? Like setting off fireworks on the 4th of July using incense. Like who does that except for like, Chinese Americans?
I think the key reason why I changed my vote is that Nancy couldn't name the hospital that she was born in. I think everyone at least knows where they were born. Unless they were a war orphan, they would know where they were born.